Attorney broker John McConnin. We're looking at paragraph 3 in this part 2 of our California Residential Purchase Agreement review. You can read these terms yourself. Some of the terms are interesting about, how the buyer is going to deposit a check to escrow or give a copy to the agent. What normally happens, though, is that a copy of the check is presented as part of the offer. You would also show that there's money in your bank account to show that you can make up the rest of the deposit. If you're getting a loan, you'll have a pre-approval letter. If it's cash, you're going to show the cash normally. If not, you're going to explain why, because in a seller's market, sellers and agents expect these things. And going along all those lines, I know it seems very odd, but I know that in a multiple offer situation, some buyers give letters explaining how people love their house and why they're going to want to close. Now, to even the husbands of the wives who frequently suggest this, in my experience, it seems counterintuitive, counterproductive to their goals of getting the home for a good price. But in a seller's market, when there's multiple offers coming in on these homes, some people just want to be in the negotiations or win, and they position themselves as the type of buyer who really wants the property and is going to close because they have far and away more money than is needed to consummate this transaction. I know it's hard to believe, but that's one of the things you need to talk about. Now, if you're going in and trying to get a discount on a property, if you're trying to buy it below the list, or you're thinking the home's going to need work and you're not going to be facing competition, then you might go back to the traditional strategies. But it's something to consider. I'm not saying you have to do it. If you're working with me, we're going to talk about different ways to position you as a strong buyer without giving away too much. Now, increasing the deposit, these are going to be customary in your area, but it just has to look smart. All cash. Now, this is an important term. Almost every seller I talk to likes cash buyers. Almost every agent thinks cash buyers are great and pitches cash buyers to their client. Cash is fickle. If a cash buyer sees a better deal coming along, they're more likely to be out because they can do the deal. They can get it done. They know their offers are going to accept it because they're cash buyers, or they frequently get accepted because people seem to prefer them. I'm not saying not to prefer them in many circumstances, but there are times when a loyal FHA buyer or a loyal VA buyer should be considered. If your property's not going to need a lot of repairs, you're not worried about the termites, you're not worried about your foundation, you know your home's going to inspect well, then maybe if you're working with a VA buyer, they might pay up a little bit and they're going to close because their offers get rejected so often because they're not cash and they're just happy to have a home, and they're not going to throw away an opportunity unless they really get a bad report on your property. So, it depends on, that's how we weigh offers with experience. Hopefully you've got strategies in place to create multiple offer situations. You are not just selling, you're not just putting it on the market and boom, multiple offers come in and your house is sold. You're going to plan ahead of time to let the best offers surface. You're going to have a weekend where people can see the property. I mean, you're not going to do traditional stuff that agents are doing. Hey, I can sell your home really fast. Well, anyone can sell a home really fast in this market if it shows well. That's not why you're even considering. Certainly, you're not paying 2.5%, 3% for that. I hope you're expecting more. So I'm giving you a little insight into more, but I'm also saying you should negotiate with your broker too. Negotiate with your agent. If they're going to sell your property in 48 hours, what do they need 2.5%, 3% for? If they can already sell to the top of the appraisal range, do you really need them to use their traditional marketing strategies, or do you have to do something different? I guess that's appropriate because we're in the finance section. And I'm not saying all agents. Well, I am saying a lot of agents, when selling, don't know how to deal with multiple offers, bring in all the buyers the first day and don't even give you time to have the strongest offer surface. I've seen that problem. But I'm not saying all agents fall into it. But give me a call, and I'd like to talk to you about how to really get the highest net for you. Either if you're doing it by price, if you're pricing it at a price that's expected from the market, there's no reason to pay your agent big dollars when there's other agents that would be willing to say, pay me if that's all we're doing. If you're pricing your house to sell, I'll sell you. I'll do it and I'll work for less. I'm an attorney. I look at the price per hour. I'm happy when I make my attorney hourly fee or even less. And if you're telling me you're going to sell your home because it's well priced, I'm not going to say, well, then pay me 3%. I'm going to say, let's talk about what we're expecting. Let's get you a great net. Here's timing things. You got to pay attention to them. But the next step And we're already at 5 minutes here. We're going to talk about appraisals. In this section, we see loan contingency and appraisal contingency. These are vital, and we're going to talk about both of them in the next video. John McConnin, FavoriteRealEstate.com. Thanks.